Hey my girl, it's Wednesday and you know what that means? Exactly, we're baking. Y'all, welcome back to my baking series called Girl Let's Bake because baby, we're baking. Today I was feeling like I could go for a cookie, but not just any cookie, like a cookies and cream kind of cookie. And y'all have actually been asking for this recipe because I featured it on one of my vlogs not too long ago and y'all was like, girl, the details. So here are the details. I'm probably gonna make the shift from cookies to other desserts pretty soon, but right now I just feel like a good cookie, okay? There's nothing like coming home from work, kicking your feet up, watching your favorite show or movie, because in my case, the new Michael Jackson movie just went live yesterday on Amazon Prime Video and I very much ordered mine on pre-order 3 weeks ago. So tonight I have a date with Michael and a cookies and cream cookie, okay? So let's get into it. This is everything you're gonna need. You need 2 sticks of butter. I promise you this time around, 2 sticks because we need a full cup of butter. Mini Oreos or a pack of big Oreos. We're using both here today. I'm not a huge fan of white chocolate on its own, but I do love me a cookies and cream Hershey's bar, so this is my white chocolate of choice. Cornstarch, all-purpose flour, baking soda and baking powder. Oh, let's turn it. Baking powder, some vanilla extract, of course some salt, white sugar and brown sugar. I prefer to use light brown sugar, but you could always use dark brown sugar. It'll adjust your flavoring slightly, but not too much. And then 4 eggs. You need 2 full eggs and 2 egg yolks. They're wet right now because I was soaking them in some warm water because these are supposed to be room temperature. So I was trying to room temperature them because they were fresh out of the fridge when I got home. Now, I told you guys I'm gonna share with you guys my process. I like to pre-measure everything. You don't have to, but at least make sure that you have everything that you need in front of you and group it together with your wet ingredients versus your dry ingredients. For the sake of the video though, I'm not pre-measuring everything. I'm just gonna go ahead and bake it as I know the recipe. But as you're learning, especially if you're new, I think it's really good for you to basically pre-measure out to make sure that you have all of your ingredients and you're not making any mess up like I was in the first video, because baby, that was a rookie mistake. Half a cup of butter, 2 sticks, please. So go ahead and take a moment to get all of your machines, all of your appliances, and all of your ingredients. For our wet batter, we are going to cream 2 sticks of cold butter. I am cubing the butter to make it easier to mix in. Now, because I want a thicker cookie, I'm using cold butter, which won't melt immediately when mixed. But if you want a thinner cookie and a little bit more spread, go ahead and use softened butter. We are gonna cream in some brown and white sugar into the butter. Remember, we use brown sugar for a softer, chewier cookie, and then the white sugar for spreading and crisp edges. You're gonna go ahead and cream these until light and fluffy. The mixture should look very cohesive and light in color. I tend to cream mine a little bit longer because I really want a softer, chewier cookie. Now we're adding in our eggs, egg yolks, and vanilla extract. The eggs provide our structure and moisture, while the yolks provide extra fat for a richer and less cakey cookie. Also, you know we love a good vanilla moment, okay? I've never had a dessert that was horrible because there was too much vanilla, although, just a little secret, this recipe calls for 3 teaspoons, and I think I only had about like 1. But you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. Now for our dry ingredients, you're gonna add your flour, cornstarch, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. The cornstarch makes the cookie more tender. This is like my super secret ingredient that's not a secret because obviously I'm sharing it with you. But it's literally the one ingredient that takes your cookies from being basic to like that bakery style. And then remember, we're using baking powder and baking soda. Baking powder helps the cookie rise. Baking soda helps the cookie spread. what your wet batter should look like. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in about a third of the flour. There is a lot of dry mixture here, so I'm gonna add it in increments of 3. Be careful not to over mix. You wanna make sure that it's under mixed each time before adding the next little bit of flour, because we don't wanna overwork the gluten in the flour. This is prep work that you should do before you're actually baking the cookie so that you don't have to take time to actually do this. I did this before. I'm just adding it in right now because it just goes with the flow of things. But prior to starting your dough, you want to make sure that you are chopping and preparing all of your mix-ins. I'm going in and chopping an entire cookies and cream Hershey bar, and I had a few pieces from the last time that I made this, so I literally just chopped that up as well. And I'm measuring that out. I'm also going to chop up about maybe like 12 Oreos. You want to have enough for 2 cups. I just looked down at my shirt and we've got this huge stain. This is why I can't have nice things. Okay, you know what? It is what it is. We're baking, we're having a good time. There's flour everywhere, there's butter, there's sugar everywhere. Clearly we're wearing it. So right now I'm actually about to take my mixing bowl and paddle out of my stand mixer, and I'm gonna go ahead and fold in all of my mix-ins. You need about 1.5 cups of white chocolate. So I have about 1.5 cups of the cookies and cream bar, and then I have about 2 cups of crushed Oreos. This is what the paddle is looking like right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear it. Don't worry if you don't get it all one. Try to get it all, but as close as possible. Also, don't worry about if there is still unmixed flour. That's what we want, okay? You wanna under mix the dough so that it doesn't become tough and you don't overwork the glutens in the flour. We don't want a tough, crusty cookie. We want a soft, chewy cookie. Child, I am making a mess right now, but I guess that's part of the process. Also, if I did not mention this, go ahead and preheat your oven at 375 degrees. Mine's been on since before I started making the cookie dough, so I know that we're good to go. But if you have not turned on your oven, this is the time. Okay, this is as good as we're gonna get. I do not subscribe to licking the beater. You will never catch me, okay? Salmonella, is that what you get from raw eggs? I don't want it. I don't want it. Find you something safe to do. I will never encourage that. So scrape it, put it in the sink. This is what the batter looks like right now. There's still a little bit of flour on the sides, which is perfect. I'm gonna fold it in by hand. So we're gonna go ahead in and add our mix-ins, mix that in really nicely, fold it, and then we're gonna go ahead and scoop them onto our baking sheet and let the oven do the work. Okay, I lied. I don't have the upper body strength right now nor the patience to go ahead and mix that thick dough. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the paddle beater slowly incorporate the cookies and the white chocolate into the dough. I'm gonna put it on a low speed so that I don't really crush up too much the cookies and the chocolate. I'm just a girl. Okay, so our dough is freshly mixed. Everything is good to go. I'm gonna be using my handy dandy ice cream scoop to scoop these cookies. These cookies are meant to be massive, okay? They're meant to be really, really large. So if you don't want them to be large, you're gonna wanna use a smaller ice cream scoop. I'm also going to, because my back is just gonna be big forever, but I'm going to stuff each cookie with an Oreo cookie, which, what could be bad about that, right? I mean, minus the calories. What could be bad about it? So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop all of these cookies. I'm probably gonna have to do like 2 rounds of this. I have 2 sizes of baking pans that I'm gonna be using today. I have this one and a smaller one. There's a really, really tiny one. I'm not gonna use that because I can't bake it at the same time. So I'm just gonna put 2 pans of cookies at the same time, and then we'll just repeat if we need to. pans have been scooped and shaped and put on the baking sheet. I'm gonna top them off with some extra crushed Oreos. Or maybe I'll use the mini Oreos. I got lazy though because the dough is rather chunky. The cookies on the big sheet have an Oreo stuffed on the inside, and then the cookies on the smaller sheet don't. I wanna see how they bake without them. And if I like the size of them, then I'll stop stuffing the Oreos inside, which is like less fun, but you know, it is what it is. Before I decorate any cookie, I always lay down a layer of cling wrap or plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it, so that when I place the cooling rack with the cookies on top and decorate them, all of the drippings from my drizzles and cookie crumbles, they don't fall into the counter, and it just makes cleanup super, super easy. I'm going to be doing a simple white chocolate drizzle, so I'm just breaking up a little bit of a white chocolate bar, and I microwaved it in increments of 30 seconds just to make sure not to scorch the chocolate. Give it a good mix each time until it is your desired texture, and then I like to put mine in a piping bag, but you can use a Ziploc baggie. Girl, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Use what you have. I just clip a small hole at the very end of the bag and go ahead and drizzle. I wanted the drizzle to be very thin, and I'm just drizzling in one direction. All of the cookies that don't have the cookies and cream bar on top don't have an Oreo filled in the center, so I'm gonna do something just slightly different. They're all getting the drizzle, but I'm gonna go ahead and decorate the Oreo filled ones first. That way I can differentiate which one is which. You probably also can tell because these ones are massive. And then when it's time to decorate the unstuffed cookies and cream cookie, I'm gonna go ahead and do a light drizzle and then top off with just a half of a mini Oreo. And this is all that I'm doing. Honestly, that was all that I had the capacity for at this point. Maybe we're 2 for 2 for mishaps. So all my cookies are baked and we decorated them. This batch made me 21 cookies, but I only have 15 to show for it. We had a little mishap taking the cookies out of the oven. Roll the footage. And I tell you, anytime I turn my camera on, something goes bad. I'm filming episode 2 of my baking series, and I just went to take out my second batch of cookies. Please, let's look. I'm so, and it's so hot because the oven, stop. Oh my gosh. Oh, please, please. This, why does this happen to me? Why? All right. I can't get it. Anyway, these are our pretty cookies. I have a couple back on the stove just like chilling out because I couldn't fit them all on my board, but they look so pretty aside from our mishap. I don't know what's going on. I've been in the YouTube game for like 4, almost 5 years almost. And anytime that I turn my camera on, something always goes wrong. Always embarrassing me in front of company. Actually, let's take a bite of this cookie because they look too good. Cheers. I forgot that I was doing a taste test. I'm tearing this cookie up. I got a little carried away, ate the whole half of the cookie. Super good. I think I prefer the cookies without the Oreo stuffed inside because I feel like there's a good amount of mix-ins already in there that the Oreo being stuffed inside is the gluttony that the Bible talked about. I'm giving those ones to my students. I actually made these with them in mind because they love a cookie. They love a cookie, so yeah. Anyways, so this is episode 2 of Girl Let's Bake. I'm so sorry that we keep having these mishaps, but I think that's just like kind of the beauty of it. Mistakes happen. You're not always gonna get it right, and you also learn through those mistakes. Both of those sized pans in my oven at the same time, and if I do, I need to grab the larger one first. See, this was a learning moment. This was a teachable moment. Anyway, I have a date with my couch, this cookie, and that Michael Jackson movie. So I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget that my recipe is linked down below in the description box. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also be sure to turn on your post notifications. That way you can be notified every time your girl drops a new video. And until next time, babes, I'll see you in my next. Now, my girl, go bake.